expensive it is?
Hi, friends. It's me, host Eric, and I'm here with some unusual people in the room in the sense that I'm not accustomed to generally talking to some of these people that frequently, including Ace, who's new and who was kind enough to take advantage of the opportunity to support Talking with Famous People via Patreon, which is one of the things I've set up recently. And also here we have Jack, who is I don't actually know who he is, but like as soon as he came in once, it was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna forget that guy. And then there's Liz here from Canada. An important fact that she's from Canada. Why? Because the topic is immigration. Also, we've got Swedish Swede Jacob up there on the top, and of course, his country's decided to let all the Muslims in. Down at the bottom, we've got Champagne Poppy. You probably won't say much. Purple Puffin is apparently
Like,
also British and loves curry. Apparently, I don't know. I don't have Taylor is not my minion. Okay,
About rounds it out.
just to be abundantly clear. All right, so now we're
Eric
gonna go.
is Tanner's minion.
That's not true either. So now we're talking
Yeah,
about
you're the priest
Champagne Poppy.
for his religion.
Champagne. Now let's talk about immigration because first of all, welcome to the EU, barbarians. Hello, barbarians. Remember how you guys, kept sacking our cities and shit back in the day? Well, we totally forgot about that. So come on in. And that's really dumb. I think we can all agree on that. Like Sweden, how's that worked out for you, huh? How's assimilating the
Uh,
Muslims going?
well, they are pretty assimilated in like their own subcultures and subcountries. So inside their own territories, I would say they are pretty much assimilated with like their own home countries.
Why have you given parts of Sweden to other people to make home countries in?
Because otherwise it would be considered racist.
Why is it racist to require them to solve their own problems in their own spot?
I don't know, because Sweden has a tendency to see ourselves as some sort of humanitarian country in order to help like the rest of the world, sort of.
All right, listen. I want you to talk to the rest of the Swedes. You tell them host Eric's coming over there. He's gonna kick some ass and take some names. All right. I'm gonna fix Sweden for you. I'm gonna kick all the Muslims out. Yes. Oh my God, Eric, you're Islamophobic. How could you possibly say such a thing, Eric? That is so ignorant. No, it's not ignorant. What's ignorant is a worldview that says it's perfectly acceptable to oppress women, and that people who that we have sacred shit. Oh, we have shit that's sacred. Oh no, you can't talk about that. You can't piss on that thing. You can't whatever because it's sacred to us. Well, you know what's sacred to me? Keeping you the fuck out of Western civilization, right? Do we
Yeah.
want that fucking 14th century thinking infesting free societies? No, we don't. If you are a Muslim individual and want to come into this country, then I don't think you should come here unless you are willing to go through the protocol. Now, the protocol is fair, it's just, it's good, and it helps you to become a real human being instead of a fucking retarded 14th century barbarian. All you need to do, you need to piss on the Quran, you need to draw some pictures of Muhammad, you need to say all is fucking stupid, you need to then, go into the mosque and rub shit all over the walls, and then you're allowed to come in here when you realize, oh, that was cool, that was a fun art project, and you put it up on the internet and celebrate the fact that you did it. Then you can come in here, you fucking retards. Most
Yeah,
of these
well,
Anybody
thoughts on
disagree with
immigration.
that?
Sure, go ahead, disagree.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
the thing, or
go ahead.
okay. Well, the thing is that in Sweden you can't separate in between like ideology and skin color. It's sort of like you become a racist if you're against Islam or any religion, basically. Um,
Have you
so
explained to
yeah,
them that race doesn't exist? Explain to your
yeah.
fellow
Well,
Swedes, please.
Yeah, but they are more like the skin color, like the oppression of the skin color. There's even like a Black Lives Matter movement in Sweden, even though like Sweden has no history of oppressing black people in that sense.
Age of professional victims.
That's what it is. I mean, that makes Sweden the most violent of all societies. Why? Because it spends that much energy reducing individuals to members of their groups. Now, no, when I'm talking about Muslims being fucking retarded, I am not reducing individuals to their groups. I'm saying if you want to prove you're an individual who's distinct from that group, all you got to do is prove that you're not guilty of the same intellectual failings that the worst of Muslims, the worst of Islam, manifests consistently in the world. It's not like I'm saying, oh, there's a couple of terrorists, so therefore all Muslims are terrorists. What I'm saying is there's a vast majority of Muslims in the world who think it's okay to oppress women, who think it's totally okay to kill people because they made fun of their stupid fucking prophet. You know,
Yeah.
fucking Egypt, the whole of Egypt had massive protests trying to get that filmmaker deported to Egypt to be put to death.
I have actually an example quite recently, just a few days ago. A 14-year-old Muslim kid was accused of raping a 12-year-old girl at a school, and when the teachers then spoke with his mother, the mother was more like she cared more for the punishment for the son. Like he was basically dismissed from the school, but only for a period of like 2 months.
I mean, I'd fucking kill him. He needs to be fucking taken out and fucking killed like a pig. Like gutted and hung out in the street for everyone to see. For the rest of the fucking scumbags to see.
The mother's concern wasn't for like the girl he was raping.
Fuck the mother. Fuck the mother. Fuck the family. Deport the family and take that fucking kid, gut him like a pig, pull his intestines out, and hang him from a fucking street lamp in Muslim town. Why not? Rapist. If he's already a rapist at 14.
Yeah, but it basically what people say is like the mother should be deported as well because she shares the same values and like.
Of course she should be deported. Of course she should be deported. I wouldn't even do her the favor of legally deporting her. I just put her on a boat and shove her out to fucking sea. There you go, you stupid fucking cunt. Go have fun being a primitive barbarian out of sea. See how long you last. Let's play Lost at Sea. That's a fun game to play with the Muslim immigrants who do shit like that. I've got a game for you. We're going to lose you at sea. And let's see what happens. That's fine.
But the thing is, they keep coming back. Like, some people are, like, dismissed from the country, but they keep coming back. It's not like they go to Denmark or something, and then they just cross the border again and keep coming back.
Okay, well, if they're not like Mexicans, okay? Viva Mexico. Mexicans are not a problem. Trump's a fucking moron. I am not anti-immigration in general. What I am is able to make a distinction between Islamic immigrants and non-Islamic, right? And the reason is because deeply entrenched in everything they think and do is a distinction that says women must be subjected.
They're all ideologies incompatible with Western culture in general.
And that's why I don't see how in Sweden, the feminists are basically like, they're supporting like free immigration of free Islamic immigration. Now I'm just like, how the fuck can't they, like, shouldn't they collide? Islamic values doesn't have anything to do with modern feminism.
It's because they think beliefs are an identity thing rather than, they don't understand that political positions are actually political positions. They're not part of your identity. They're like, oh, well, part of my identity is that I side with the disenfranchised groups. Well, listen, bitch, you need to stay out of politics then and let the men of Sweden stand on the fucking lines of Sweden and say, get the fuck out, out you go, here you go. Oh, you're not going quickly enough, then I'm going to stab you in the fucking face.
Yeah, I mean, feminism in general, I would say in the US and in Europe is not so much about, it has nothing really to do with anything that, you know, if you walked up to somebody in the street and you said, do you believe that, you know, women should be paid the same and have the same rights as men and all that jazz, everyone you would talk to would be like, yeah, of course. But if you were like, are you a feminist? They'd be like, nah, no, I don't want to put a label on it, like, you know, and that's because it's not become about those kind of values anymore. It's basically just anybody, it's an us against them thing.
Yeah.
Against basically white men.
Reclaim the term. I call myself a feminist.
Yeah, it's
After
liberal
all, I
guilt
hate
and,
Islam.
and hate against white men. If you're not a white Christian male, typically, they
Yeah.
will support you over even people like me that aren't specifically Christian. It's like, I'm a white male. I could be
I've had-
having shit beat out of me by anybody else pretty much that wasn't a white male, and if a feminist walked by that, they would probably be happy about it.
But
I've
I
had
don't think-
feminists dismiss my arguments for the sake of me being a white male. So
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I've never actually encountered these so-called SJWs, social justice warriors. Whatever. I've not actually encountered them myself ever. I'm not sure if they actually exist. But what I will tell
They
you
are the
is
worst.
this: that the policy they are, whatever the cause is, I'm not interested in finding the group of individuals to blame for the policy. What I'm interested in doing is saying we need a clear-cut policy that distinguishes Islamists, Muslims, from everybody else. And we say, look, we don't shit. We don't put like, okay, we don't think, oh, well, because you're from Sweden, you're stupid and liberal. Just because you're from Sweden doesn't mean you're not a stupid. Doesn't mean you're a stupid liberal necessarily. There's other Sweden people. There are people who are intelligent in Sweden too, and there's smart people who are fucking stupid liberals too. So the point is, we don't worry about groups in general, except for Muslims, because they are the alternative to a free society, and therefore we condemn it. We force them to come to terms with their own fucking wrongness. Same with China and Taiwan, actually. It's like, fuck China. We force them to come to... What's worst of all, it doesn't matter what's being done, is these people are not acknowledging that they are wrong.
but there's so much shit going on like up in the chain. We had our immigration minister was basically supporting ISIS on Facebook. So it's like it's all the way up into the government. Like the media, the cops, and the governments are all in on it.
Yeah, well, to address that point, Purple Puff, and moderate Muslims and radical Muslims it's a tricky dog to name the breed of, because a moderate Muslim is technically speaking not doing what they're called to do by the Quran. The Quran says even Muslims that aren't radical should be put to death by Muslims who are radical. And that's kind of the problem. You know, I hear this all the time. Anytime anybody brings up Islam, they bring up Christianity right next to it. What about Christianity? What about when they do bad stuff? What about when they kill people or do this or do that? And what I tell those people is like, but they're not, if they're doing those things, they're going against what the ideology calls them to do. If a Christian murders somebody, that is literally the opposite of what the Bible calls Christians to do. Whereas in the Quran, there's verse after verse after verse of infidels must be put to death. Infidels must be put to the sword.
Sure.
But
hold
so on and so
on.
forth.
I want to answer that though. Let me answer that, because I also want to address what Purple Puff in here says. Because the thing is, you might be right about that in terms of the text of the respective books, but that's not a good argument, because you don't ever want to get dragged into those texts as a justification either way, because there are crazy things that the Bible says that Christians don't really do, and we shouldn't assume that Christians do them because the Bible says that they should. Nor should we assume that Muslims do shit the Quran says just because it says they should do it. But what we should do is evaluate the actual behavior of actual Muslim cultures, as the laws they, the way they treat people, and how they act, and the rhetoric they speak as a common person in the streets. If you are a woman, you cannot walk in Tahrir Square in Egypt when they are protesting, because you will get raped. Why? Because
I know that. I was talking more
they are
specifically just the argument
they are a cancer.
of bringing up Christianity.
The ideology itself is a cancer. Christianity is absolutely not a cancer. It's fine. Do sometimes people freak out in ways that are Christian themed? Sure. Like you said, that's not being Christian, and that's just, Christians have the central point right, which is basically we're looking to is peace. It's pro-peacefulness. Pro-peace, you know? It's turning the other cheek.
hasn't always been that way.
It doesn't matter if it's always been that way. It matters how it actually manifests in the world.
Right now, yeah, but like Christianity has also done some bad stuff, like the Great Crusade back in the days and shit like that. It's basically just like ISIS and all that shit are doing that now, but it's like the Black Crusade. It's Islam's time of doing the crusade.
Okay, so
The Crusades were a military issue. It was not a religious issue. Religion was used to garner support from the peasants and the masses, but it was a response to 400 years of Islamic expansion. They were on Europe's doorstep before the Crusades ever even started. They didn't go kick in the Muslims' doors where they were just chilling out in the Middle East and having a good time.
Who cares about the fucking Crusades? To the extent that it was wrong for Christians to do that, then it's wrong for them to do it now, and we're grown up now, right? It's like, just because when we were kids, maybe we did something mean to a little girl, doesn't mean now that we're grown ups, we say, hey, mean kids, come here. Now you come be mean over here to these little girls because we want to make sure you have the same opportunity to be assholes as we did when we were kids. No, you fix the problem, you spank them. And in this case, we got to put them back where they belong and give them all the guns they want. And no boats, no planes. You stay there and you fucking shoot each other until you're done. That's simple. Well, I don't think we should kill them. It's not our responsibility to kill them. They need to kill themselves peaceful. They need to kill themselves to democracy. It's the only solution. Look at the Tocqueville, Habits of Democracy. It was known as far back as 1787 that without the habits of democracy, there is no fashion in which a assemblage of random tribes can become a nation state. So when you stick a bunch of people who are stuck in primitive fucking tribal warfare land and say, now you're a country, what do? They turn into a big fucking tribal warfare country. And what do? You gotta put all back in there and you say, okay, first figure out all your tribal warfare shit first. Kill up all the losing tribes. And then when there's one tribe left, then you can maybe be grown-ups a little bit. We're gonna help you, okay? We're gonna help the Muslims after they're done killing themselves, not before.
But the thing is that ISIS basically wants the world to turn on the Muslims in general because they would benefit from it. They want the world to.
Not if we really turned on them. They want the world to turn on them. You mean they want us to nuke the shit out of them? Is that what they want? They want us to bomb the shit out of them? They want everybody to bomb them at once? Is that what you mean by turn on them? Because that's what I think we should do. Turn on them.
People to be prejudiced towards Muslims,
it's not prejudice. It's descriptive accuracy. These people are fucking scoundrels. They oppress women. They are bad, primitive thinking people. They don't deserve our respect. They deserve our contempt, and they shouldn't be allowed in our fucking countries.
There's a big difference between a secular Muslim and an ISIS supporter. You can't compare those two.
Sure I can, because both of them hate women.
Eric, how many Muslims are there in the world?
Too many.
Okay, where do the majority of them live? Do the majority of them live in the Middle East? Because I think you'll get this question wrong.
I think it's 1.2 billion.
If you are talking about the actual, as far as countries or something, you're looking at the Philippines. And I agree, that's a distinct population. Okay, there's no doubt that there are Asian populations. There are some Asian subpopulations of Muslims who behave differently. They are the exceptions that prove the rule. Now, most of the Muslims, in terms of those who are active in terms of being political agents in the world, are those who are coming out of the Middle East. Those are the ones we have to worry about because the ones in the Philippines are somewhat more moderate, somewhat more secular.
Region. It's the region, not the religion. It's the region, not the religion.
Wrong.
I don't agree with that either because I've seen, I'll have to dig in my computer to find it, but I've saved a big, long survey that they did in multiple countries, London, Africa, South America, where they basically just asked them questions like that, like, do you believe that infidels should be put to death? And while the majority said no, too many supported. They asked them questions like, do you support what ISIS does? Do you support honor killings, things like that?
Absolutely.
And a large number of them said, yes, I support that. So even if you have 1.7 billion Muslims in the world, enough of them are radical to the point where they want every non-Muslim put to death.
Look,
and that's concerning.
Enough being like 10 or 20%.
I don't think they want everybody put to death, but it is fair to say this, that the problem with Islam is neither the region nor the ideology, it's the Muslims, the individual Muslims. Most Muslims would choose to act on behalf of a lot of oppressive shit. Would advocate on behalf of a lot of oppressive shit. Would support all kinds of rights violations and all kinds of rights suppression in favor of the primacy of their ideology. Now, because their ideology is not only exclusive, but actively aggressive towards other memes, it is distinct in that fashion. It's like a virus, okay? However, what's most significant is we need to stop blaming anybody but the individual people. Okay, you people, I have labeled you as part of a group now because you're all Muslim, and that seems to be the common thread. Now, I'm not saying it's caused by the religion. I'm not saying it's caused by the region. I'm not saying it's caused by your race. I'm saying you fuckers are going back there. Here's a newsie. Have fun. Figure it out, motherfuckers. And if you don't figure it out and you're going to have too much of a problem, I tell you, number one on the list, if you cause too much of a problem, Mecca goes, man. Boom. Goodbye, Mecca. Fuck Mecca. Saudi Arabia, you're next.
It's my job to learn this shit and read this shit. And honestly, I have my own conclusion, but most people don't agree. But yeah, who cares? Fuck it. The Muslim ban, not the Muslim ban, but the fucking refugee ban is right because fuck it, they don't have two opposing ideals like go hand in hand together. That's true, but I mean,
but the Muslim ban isn't really like a Muslim ban. This just
I know. I said the wrong word. I said the wrong word. But the refugee ban for Syria and Iraq, yeah.
Hey man, what's your name? The Marine?
Kodo.
Kato.
Oh, okay. Hey, nice to meet you, man. I was prior Army. So when you're talking about the region, just kind of a side note, when we're talking about the region, there's a definite problem with, like, have you been to Afghanistan?
No.
Okay. Like a region like Afghanistan that has basically been dogfucked by one superpower or another for a long time. They basically are sticks and stone level of technology. They're mud huts. They literally live in like mud huts.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they're doing. Their culture is beyond primitive. Like they will kill each other over packets of Skittles, shit like that.
They will. Like I said, it's far. They've been fucked in the ass, and people don't realize that. It's not just the fucking religion. It's when people get fucked in the ass and they don't have anything, they will listen to whoever will fucking keep them alive. And that's simple. It's as simple as that. That's my conclusion.
Kato, you're absolutely right, and it's no doubt that the Western powers fucked the whole region when they decided to organize them like countries instead of letting them develop in their own pace. However, that's said and done. Now, whether we're responsible for it or not, I mean, that's not when we say we're doing humanitarian actions and supporting the good humanitarian goals in the short term, we neglect to understand the nature of the system we damage. Look at Sweden.
Oh no! Like I said, I said I completely agree with your stance on the refugee ban and like not letting them. That's really smart. But I don't agree with the premises. I do agree with the premises because again, like it would fuck us up, I believe. But I just don't agree with your fucking like the background information.
The force of my anti-Muslim rhetoric. You think it's excessive?
I agree with your position. We just have different outlooks.
The thing is, I can always pull back from any extreme shit. I'm not really advocating specifically that in fact, my specific advocacy is that we don't touch them, we don't kill them or anything like that. We put them back where they came from and say, here's some guns, and let them deal with it themselves. That's my advocacy, okay? It's no guns, no boats, here's some free guns. Figure it out, you guys. And when they kill themselves...
Yeah, we already did that once. We've already done that a whole bunch, which is kind of the issue.
No, but we keep picking sides. Just give it to everybody.
Dude, the whole situation in Syria, if you want a confusing mess to try and sort through, right. That is definitely one issue where we've taken like 3 sides.
Don't pick any side. Don't pick any side. Just sort of drop them randomly around the country from planes. Here's some more guns. Keep it up. They're building the wall around you. Keep you in. Like that. Shit. That's fair. It's fair. It's their land. It's their problem. They can figure it out themselves. Here's some guns.
That'd be nice.
Because what was a possible complaint they could have? Well, we don't have the means to defend ourselves. Here's some guns. But, it's your country. Figure it the fuck out. We built big walls around you. No boats, no planes for you. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know who you guys were supporting in the presidential, like, the primaries before it was Trump versus Hillary, but I liked Rand Paul for a lot of reasons, and one of those reasons is that was kind of his approach to it. He was hands off. It was just stop fucking with him. We've tried regime change. We've tried kicking the doors down and installing whoever we wanted or whatever over and over, and it's never worked out well. It's never fucking worked.
All right.
Stop fucking with them.
Yeah, exactly. Just put them back there and give them guns and let them do their thing.
I think America should just stop fucking caring so much.
Yeah.
We have to be the world leaders. Like, so no, like, wait, let the country, like, it's because we help everybody out. We do all the shit for them.
You have a tendency to involve yourself in stuff that you're like really shouldn't be involved in, but I think it's due to financial interest most of the time.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting out. He doesn't want to die.
Don't blame you, dude.
Okay, look, I've got really good foreign policy ideas that are contentious, but entirely metaphysical. So the way you play it is like this. For example, my policy aff that I want to run at stage is a talking with famous people case that I've built around using talking with famous people to advocate on behalf of Taiwan and being its own country instead of the People's Republic of China having control over it. So I don't know if you're familiar with the One China policy, but anyway, the point of it is that the U.S. official U.S. policy should be that the U.S. policy is equal to the standing winner of the argumentation chains on China and Taiwan. So until China can successfully win the arguments, then our official stance is whoever winning the argument right now. So it's like, then they have to continue arguing it out. So we say, we'll structure it like every week it'll be the next step in the process or something, and there'll be a series of argument chains or whatever. However it plays out doesn't matter. The point is, it's not actually going to happen. The point is, that's the plan that we're going to run in policy debate. And the idea is that discursive frameworks solve in ways that physical world action don't. So forcing China to engage discursively on the topic of Taiwan on a real way, trying to defeat you on a zero-sum framework, kind of debate framework, making them actually deal with the actual arguments involved, rather than prohibiting their citizens from learning or saying anything about such arguments. Well, that's going to have a more impactful change on Chinese society than anything else, because they'll have to learn what the actual best arguments are and which arguments win and which arguments lose. And then you don't actually do anything, right? You're not sending any tanks anywhere. You're not sending any troops anywhere. You're just saying our policy on China and Taiwan, China, is contingent upon this argument change. These argument chains that are set up over here. Now argue them. If you want our policy to be what you want it to be, you just have to win the argument.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that was a big sentiment as far as simply just, troops tired of being like, I don't even know why I'm here. I don't feel like I'm doing anything significant or that there's any reason I should be over here. Or that any of my friends should be over there. It's pointless.
Well, did you go over there when you were in the Army? Ace?
Yeah.
Oh, you were in the Middle East.
Yeah, I did 2 tours.
Was that did it give you PTSD? Are you supposed to ask that?
No.
Probably not. Huh.
No, I don't mind, but no, I don't think it did.
This
Okay,
fucking
well,
suck
that's good.
piss you off.
Yeah, it's people like to get poetic with it, but it didn't give me any like problems or like emotional issues other than like for a while I had issues with like it's kind of hard to describe it, just like when you're in a situation like that and you come back to real life and it's kind of like everything's just kind of bland and like really mellow and nothing is really as significant, because at least the first time I was over there it was really like you really feel like you're doing something really, really meaningful, like it's really, really important, and then you get disillusioned and you come back and you're kind of like, wow, that really didn't mean shit, I didn't really accomplish anything, and now I'm here and I'm doing I'm just kind of putting around my life. You're sitting in food lines staring at the chip aisle like 3 weeks ago I was in physical danger and shit. It's kind of hard to marry those two mindsets, come back down to reality, so to speak.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I didn't fucking see combat, so I ain't gonna have a combat deployment. But it's weird because I can't imagine for you because all I did was go on a mute. So I went on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you, but you're
You
free.
broke up a little bit.
Never mind.
All right, so that's interesting that you went and did that and you came back. I would say that what your mind needs more than anything, not that you need anything actually, but I'm just saying in general, somebody's mind needs who comes back to something that's really
Shit.
engaging to something that's not engaging, like regular life, is talking with famous people. Because somehow, even though nothing really ever happens around here, I always feel like something's happening around here because somebody's talking about something like um, there'll be a certain amount of, well, have you talked to the new guy yet? There's a certain amount of that and those kind of conversations. Because I really felt like, not that I went to combat or anything like that, but that life was too slow. That's what you described, being stuck in the blandness of life. I've always found the blandness of life to be almost crippling in its not fast enoughness.
Yeah, I mean, I would do really stupid things just because it would engage me, and I would start dumbass fucking arguments with, my superiors or my friends just because it was more engaging than just the humdrum.
Yeah, humdrum is it's both hum and drum is what it is. That's the problem with it. And as an intuitive, I'm guessing, like Kato, you're probably surrounded largely by sensors in the military. Is that right?
Oh, fucking literally, yeah.
That, I mean, I think we all experience, most people experience a lot of that in life because there just are more sensors. And this is what it's like in this environment, I feel, is the example of what would happen if it were the other way around. There's like 80 or 90% intuitives. And the answer is there'd be a lot of sitting around and talking.
Not a lot of shit would get done, probably.
Yeah,
Not a lot of shit gets
but a
done.
lot of understanding other like anyway, there would be some like more understanding between different parties.
Yeah, I think the people involved get better at doing that, at being here, having conversations, interacting with others, at doing actual insightful analysis about why people's motivations, why and how they do things and stuff like that, right? I think people actually do get better at it as they stay here longer and get better at the social stuff, make fewer social mistakes, especially if they watch themselves on the Raw channel after it's recorded. Um, and I don't know. I mean, things do get done. Things happen. I've done all kinds of shit for this channel. Like I've gone on trips and met people in person, and I made these T-shirts, and you know, I don't know. This is all kinds of shit goes on around here. And I noticed that some people, when they start coming here, they end up being here a lot, and that suggests to me that there is filling a need that was definitely not being met.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could tell you that I've been here for a second time, and I can already tell you that it's going to be a huge benefit to me just to have an outlet for discussing things like this, because most of the people I know don't want to come home from work on a Wednesday afternoon and talk about mass immigration in Europe. Like, they don't want to talk about that shit. They want to talk about, like, you wouldn't believe what my fucking boss told me today. He's such an asshole. And I'm like, I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
to answer
I've
that
been
question, I was not picking my ass. I was trying to cut the hairs that grow off of this mole on my back. I have a mole right here. And it has
Oh,
some
man.
hairs
Come
growing off of it.
on.
It has hairs
Come
growing off of it,
on.
and I'm cutting the hairs off of it. Well, I was asked. I have to answer this.
Sure.
Those are important questions. Hi, Abraham. Not much, just streaming. I'm streaming the stream of wisdom and truth. Here with Talking with Famous People, we've got Ace. He's an American from the military in the past, no longer. We've got Sweden up here. He's Swedish. We got Purpuff. He's kind of a trolly Englishman. We've got this guy, Strokes Lover 69, who's also known as Kim Jong Un. His Kit Kat's his brother, and he's an ENTP. He's like 16 years old or something So, and then we've got a couple with no names there, all of whom have contributed immensely to the conversation. Okay, you're not a troll. Fine, Purple Puffin. What are you then? A demi-troll? Are you a demi-troll?
An instigator.
He's a little
Uh,
fairy.
Are you an
I'm an
He's a gnome.
iconoclast? What's in between a troll and a normal person? Abraham, what's in between a troll and a normal person? A prankster.
There you go. Jokester, prankster.
Yeah. Joker. A joker. All right. Hey,
You, sir,
I'll
are
go
no
drive you
joker.
there, so you can have her go. If you're waiting for her to get a ride or something, we'll go together. Yeah. I ain't gonna be there today. We're gonna talk about shit. I gotta go to work, you guys. I still have multiple things to do, but I'm gonna be dealing with. Yes, I'm gonna be there.
To cover the day class?
Yes, Abraham. That's why we added Tuesday in Walnut.
Today's Wednesday.
I know, Abraham. Where do you expect me to be today? Nowhere? Not working? I'm not scheduled, right? Okay, yeah, I'll be there today. I'm going today. I know you did. It's fine. We'll pay for this for today, and then we're going to talk about that scheduling for Wednesdays going forward today. Yeah, I'll take you there and we'll work today. Yeah. So anyway, I will deal with channel business stuff tomorrow. If anybody else is waiting for shipping or anything or stuff like that, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I haven't gotten to it today because I just woke up and... Oh yeah, I made that Norway video. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Oh,
I spent
it's
many
great.
hours working on that for some reason, and it's done. Who in this room has not seen it yet? Has everybody seen it? Ace, have you seen
No.
it? You saw it, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
here.
you saw it. Okay, so that's fine. And Sweden saw it. That's too many people have seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go. I have another video I wanted to show you guys if you guys will indulge me. It's the second to most recent video. Oops. Is that okay that I did that? Yeah, that's okay that I did that. And the second to most recent video is called...